we have some more action from yesterday, another top First Division game. This time Manchester United against Arsenal up there at Old Trafford, where our commentator is Gerald Sinstadt, and where the pictures come from Granada Television, and where we have the first glimpse in an Arsenal shirt, albeit an Arsenal second shirt, their golden shirts, of Peter Marinello.
Simpson. Armstrong. Simpson has gone ahead, calling for the pass that he's not going to get. One for Yor. Terry Neal. Nice flip through by Radford to Marinello. Chance for him here. Oh, what good footwork. Must make himself a goal, and he scored it! And again, this break put on as soon as United reached the edge of the penalty area. Edwards chipped through to Kidd. Arsenal bodies dying in front of the ball every time there's any threat of a Manchester United attack. This is a well-organised defence. 10 yards off now, the Sergeant Major coming out in Mike Kirkhoff. Sartori on the right of that picture, Bobby Charlton on the left. And he's got a name. Whose name has he taken? John Samuels. Is the 11th booking for an Arsenal player this season. Now Charlton. And it's there! No, it's not. It's disallowed. Kidd was offside. And even Bobby Charlton goes over to protest. What an unusual sight. Burns to take the free kick. This would be a good time for a goal. Sartori with the throw-in. Kidd goes down again. Brian Kidd has certainly taken some stick in that penalty area. An Arsenal player getting some treatment as well there. It's centre-half Terry Neal. So both sides at full strength again. Morgan with the free kick. Good header by Edwards and a good save too by Wilson. Sadler it was who got above that crowd. Neal and Kidd there, tussling together. Here's Morgan. 2-1.
So Arsenal are beaten, but not at all a bad first game for Peter Marinello. Incidentally, I was interested in one quote of his this week where people have been calling him a second George Best. He said, "I'd prefer to be called the first Peter Marinello." Well, it shows a bit of character. And welcome again to you to the big match. And today for our main match we have what I think is one of the most entertaining games of the season. It's our top match as we go down to Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace against Manchester United.
Tony Taylor with it, and even McCormick's gone up for this one, and Birchinall's there too. McCormick getting ahead to it, got it on, oh, and kicked away over his own head.
And how's this for firepower? And just what those big guns were doing at Crystal Palace yesterday, well, we'll show you a little later in the programme. Incidentally, the Greek national team, here to play England at Wembley on Wednesday, were given the choice of watching Arsenal or West Ham, but they said that they would like to see this one. Above all, they said, they wanted to watch the one and only George Best. And Best is sure to pose problems for this Crystal Palace side. Picking up form again now, David Payne recovered from injury is at 2. Steve Kember is the new skipper. Meanwhile, Manchester United, they are delighted to have Dennis Law back in their side again after injury. Sadler and Fitzpatrick return to the defence.
Of course, Alan Gowling, of course, is in our final 6 of the golden goals and scored a magnificent goal at Chelsea to get into that final 6. And now it's Birchinall streaking away, and a goal! Palace go into the lead with only 4 minutes gone. Supreme opportunism again there by Alan Birchinall. Tremendous acceleration, putting him clear of that United defence and giving Stepney no chance as he came out. So it's Stepney with no chance and Birchinall with his 13th goal of the season to put Palace ahead with only 4 minutes gone. Now Best. Craren with the kick to Fitzpatrick. And now Best. With a shot across that Palace goal, that wasn't so far off. Not the best of passes by Law, and it goes to Tony Taylor. Sadler, oh, losing it to Tambling. And number 2, Bobby Tambling. A mistake by Sadler, giving Stepney no chance. And Tambling makes it 2-0. It was Sadler's mistake, and Tambling pounced on it. Stepney got a hand to it, but couldn't hold it. 2-0 to Crystal Palace. And it was Bobby Tambling, in fact, who scored the only goal of the game by which Crystal Palace won a league game up at Old Trafford earlier this season. Gowling leaping for it, but beaten by McCormick. Willie Morgan turning it back again. Payne getting underneath that one, straight to George Best. To Charlton, trying a 1-2, pushed off that ball on the edge of the area once more by Payne. And I would think that Payne may have been just a fraction lucky there. So it's United's free kick, and it's going to be Charlton and Best standing over this ball. There's the Crystal Palace wall, Best number 7. Fitzpatrick's gone on the far side, Gowling's up there too, Law as well, even Edwards up there, Craren coming in. And they've got to be 10 yards off this ball. Best flicking it sideways for Sadler to bust it through, and my goodness, that was good work by Jackson. He really did burst that one through, low and hard. Tambling and Hoadley letting that one slip, and Law now for Gowling. Still Gowling, Law, and a goal! 2-1. Dennis Law. Law and Gowling delighted, and Law telling Gowling that it was his cool-headedness that set up that chance, unmistakably, for Dennis Law to come in there like a whiplash and finish it off. So Manchester United, with 3 minutes to go to half-time, get back into this game. Law was saying he wants it in the air, so too does Gowling. And Law, in fact, with an overhead kick, and it's there! He didn't catch it properly, but it went in for all that. Completely deceiving John Jackson. Struck low by Charlton. Law tried the most extravagant of overhead kicks. He didn't catch it properly, but it went in all the same. And United are level. Birchinall with his head to it, done to hoof it away. Gowling And Hoadley, and now Best. Off in chase. Jackson doesn't know whether to come or stay. Still Best. Still Best. Still Best. And a goal kick. And on the far side, Creran. Look at that for a pass as well. What a superb pass by Charlton. Oh, not such a good one by Paddy Creran, but in fact, Bobby Charlton made something of it. Law lifting himself again. Gowling, Best, and there it is! George Best. 3-2, and Manchester United's comeback is complete. When it was knotted down, John Jackson had no chance because Best was ready to pounce on it and put United into the lead. Kemba, Payne, and Best once more bursting on that scene and played there nicely by Creran for Best to Hamilton and Jackson, and it's there! Oh, a mistake by John Jackson, and Best has scored again. Jackson is absolutely disgusted with himself sitting in his goal. He makes so few mistakes in the course of a season, but that was a bad one, and United get their fourth goal. Finding Morgan. Good cross by Morgan, and Law very nearly got ahead to it. Creran following it in, and Wall through the legs of Morgan to Taylor. Tamling. Oh, and Creran's beaten him. Played there for Law, and number 5 by Dennis Law. And that, of course, is Law's hat-trick. So a hat-trick by Law and 2 by George Best. And that goal made for him by Pat Creran. Tambling. Queen. Oh, and that might still fall for Taylor, and it was hacked behind for a corner by Paul Edwards. Taylor with the corner. Wall flicking it in, and it's there by Queen! Jerry Queen, who got the final touch. Taylor's corner, and it was nodded on, and Queen, who bent low just to get the touch past Alex Stepney. So 8 goals now in this game that has been full of so much good entertainment. Tambling. Scott is closely with him. Here's Scott. Stopped in the end by Willie Morgan. But Scott really fighting, and a wild kick there by Willie Morgan, and the fists are out, and the referee is holding back Morgan, and someone at last holding back Scott. But really that was a bad piece of play there by Morgan going in on Scott. He was the culprit. Taylor with a throw. Kemba. Past Best. Ball bobbling, not very helpful to him. Wall, though, a good pass there by Wall to Taylor. Taylor with Fitzpatrick. Again trying to go on the outside of him. And a free kick given to Crystal Palace. Hard to see what that was for, but the referee was right with it. Tony Taylor with it, and even McCormick's gone up for this one, and Birchinall's there too. McCormick getting ahead to it, got it on, oh, and kicked away over his own head by Bobby Charlton. Well, how did Charlton get a foot to that? Now Kemba. Really is all happening in that penalty area now. Tambling belted away by Edwards, but only as far as Taylor. Now Wall. Everything now is centred in that penalty area. Oh, and flicked over his own goal by Edwards. And Hoadley to get it away. Done. Edwards, and the final whistle on a wonderful game And a tremendous credit to Manchester United. Dennis Law, the hat-trick man, and George Best it is, who scored 2. They are the men who really, there's Best, they are the men who really put Palace to the sword. But a really marvellous and magnificent performance by Manchester United to come back when it looked as though they were out of it. And so the final score here, as the crowd comes roaring on to say farewell to Manchester United at the end of a superb afternoon. The final score, Crystal Palace 3, Manchester United 5.
What about Manchester United yesterday? After the game at Selhurst Park, I had a word with Dennis Law. First, I asked him when he'd last scored a hat-trick.
I think, Brian, as I told you before, I think it was 5-a-side the last time I got a hat-trick. Oh, it's so long ago, I can't really remember.
And away from home as well.
Dear, we don't score many. 5-goal wins away from home.
Was there one goal that gave you particular pleasure today?
The first.
That was when Alan Gowling played so well, so cool, didn't he?
But apart from the goal, it sort of brought us back into the game because we were 2-0 down and it's only a few minutes ago. I had to look at the clock and this goal came about 3 minutes before half-time, which was nice to get back into the game then, of course.
George Best, 2 goals?
Well, of course, he's a marvellous player, isn't he? You know, I think the second goal was... it was a bit unfortunate for the goalkeeper because the ball was swerving like anything and he was a bit unlucky really, but it was a marvellous shot.
Was it difficult out here in a fairly high wind or not?
Well, sometimes it's better to play against the wind. You know, as we found in the first half, we had the wind with us and the ball tended to run away from us, you know. In the second half, the ball held and we seemed to play much better, as you probably watched.
Indeed, and I think even the avid Palace fans would say it was a wonderful exhibition of football. Would that be as well as United have played all season, briefly?
Oh, yes, I think so, yes. And I must say that the Palace fans were magnificent, you know.
So, some kind words from Dennis Law for the Palace fans, and now with another view of that game, here's Jimmy Hill.
Well, in fact, it was a bright and enterprising start from Crystal Palace, as has happened so often when I've seen them. But I have the feeling if they don't kill off their opponents early on in the game, when they're really going at full power, then they have a tendency to slack off, lose the confidence of the crowd and lose their own confidence in their method. And you can't do that to a team of the calibre of Manchester United. But really, the moment for me yesterday was when Dennis Law completed his hat-trick. He was determined to get it once he got 2 goals. And it's lovely to see this Danny Kaye of the football field, an electric entertainer, so determined, so full of maturity and so full of skill. Here he is now, scoring the first. In fact, that was Hoadley who let that ball slip under his foot. Dennis comes into it now with a delicately judged side foot pass to Gowling. Hoadley tries to recover but slips in doing so. There's a feint from Gowling. He now goes on, rolls it back off his left foot. But look at the speed with which Law comes in to get there first. His left foot right in the middle of the goal. That is the majesty of Law, the speed with which he can get in first in the penalty area. Sometimes in the middle of the field, he looks ordinary, but not when it's there. There's Bobby Charlton for the second one with the cross, and this is a marvellous overhead kick. Falling on his back, a scissors kick, and the spin of the ball as it comes off the floor completely deceived Jackson. Not an easy one to read that. I'm not quite sure Dennis knew where it was going to fly, but on that day, the net was the best place for it. Law with his hand in the air for number 2. And here's the third one coming up. A bad pass back there from Tony Taylor. Bobby Tamlin tries to recover, but what I want you to watch here is how quickly Paddy Creran sums up the position in the middle, gives the early ball, and gives Dennis the chance to whack it in with that right foot. Perfectly placed in that corner of the goal. No possibility for the goalkeeper there. A lot of people saying Law was finished. If he's finished, well, I only wish that I had some of that ability left in me. And of course, it wasn't only Law's day. The other great entertainer in the Manchester United side, Georgie Best, wouldn't be outdone. He scored 2 beautiful goals. One, perhaps a slight mistake from Jackson, but this was the second and the best of them. Creran on the left wing, switching it over the middle, and we get a chance to see Bobby Charlton now. Another one of United's grand old men. There's a delicate flick to the left. When you allow this kind of player to play like this, there's the feint, you ask for trouble, and that's what happened in the second half. Dennis Law wins it again, and watch Gowling improving, I think, with every time I see him, with that header to Best, and there's the skill from now on. Pulled down on the foot. Now, where would you put it there? Is there one place where it'll go in the goal? But we're not under pressure. Best was under pressure, but he still holds out in exactly the right spot. George Best, smiling and laughing in his beard. But there we are. It will be a shame, perhaps, to carp about something that happened yesterday. It was a good game, entertaining game, full of goals, and well refereed. But I can't help feeling there was one incident there which raises the question, you know, where is the consistency in refereeing? There's Scott on the left of the picture pushing Willie Morgan. In fact, that is a push. But have players the right to react to a push like that these days? And if they have, why is it that they don't get their name taken for that kind of offence when you can have your name taken for pulling a ball down in the air? I hope the new manager of Manchester United is going to do something about that.
Jimmy Hill with his customary strong views on the game of football. Now, a little earlier we had that tribute from Dennis Law for all you Crystal Palace fans. And I always thought, in fact, that the Crystal Palace club was a good, honest and a very fair-minded club as well. But obviously yesterday they were very disappointed when they lost a match that they thought they were going to win. But don't you agree that this might be going just a little too far? Well, that most certainly is one way of wiping out the opposition.
Charlie George, who can hit him. Oh, up we go! Charlie George!
But now it's time for some more action from yesterday's games, and it's Coventry City, still in a lot of trouble towards the bottom of the First Division, against Manchester United, pulling in the crowds as much as ever they did. The pictures come from ATV, the commentator is Hugh Johns, and Coventry are in the light shirts.
Morgan in field for Best. There's one on here. And it's in the back of the net. George Best, 1-0. What a simple goal, but the magic of that right foot of George Best. Georgie Best scoring his 25th goal of the season, his 16th in league football, as calm as you like with the right foot. Ian Moore for Manchester United. And he's in now. What a goal, Ian Moore! 3 games, 3 goals. Well, looking every inch, £200,000 on that break. It's 2-0. Manchester United, 20 minutes gone. Well, what a break then by Ian Moore from some 35, 40 yards, and it was always on that he was going to score, and when he got to the end of his run, boop, and it's in the back of the net. It's an indirect free kick, although the arm of the referee is still not up. It was up earlier. Yes, Charlton, and there it goes! Bobby Charlton! Wham bang! And Bobby Charlton sticks in another goal to add to his record number of goals for Manchester United. 3-0 United now, practically in injury time in the first half. Charlton's 7th goal of the season. So here on a day when he equals the club record of appearances, celebrated in the sunshine by banging in that goal following the indirect free kick. And Coventry now in real dead trouble. They're going into half-time in just a few moments, and the caretaker manager, Bob Dennison, an awful lot of talking to do. Oh, what a soft goal! Children, from nothing. Absolutely from nothing. Well, let's pull something back. Maybe Bob Dennison will have something to cheer them about after all. Roy Barry, from out of nowhere, number 6, scores his first goal of the season. But in fact, it'll be Smith to take it. Not a very good one. Maguire. Still going, if he can get the cross in now. That's Graham! Graham has got it! Graham has scored his first goal for Coventry. So the scoreline dramatically changes. 8 minutes into the second half, it's 3-2 now. But the running of Maguire was the thing that set that moment up. And the acrobatic right leg of Graham stuck it in there, and the gap is closed.
Not closed quite enough for Coventry's sake. Manchester United winning it by 3 goals to 2. Right, let's have some more action now. And it's Manchester United, without a win in the league this season, who yesterday stepped up to face the league champions Derby County at Old Trafford. The pictures come from Granada Television. The commentator's Gerald Sinstadt. Manchester United in the dark shirts.
Now Bobby Charlton. Handball by McGovern. Donald. Moore trying his luck on the right, but with no more success. Best scooping it up for Moore. And Ian Moore's move to the right pays off for Manchester United. This is the move that started it. Moore himself, done, scooped up by Best, and there's Moore, and no chance for Bolton, a yard off his line. Hinton's cross, palmed away by Stepney, turned back in. Here's McFarland for O'Hare, and he can't get it in yet. They're asking for a penalty. That really was the most extraordinary save by Stepney. And the foul has been given against O'Hare, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. And that's still not clear. Davies! Wyn Davies crowns his league debut for Manchester United with a magnificent goal, the first he has scored since January the 1st for Manchester City. Here it comes again, not properly cleared, and Davies turns on it and hammers it past Bolton. This is Hinton. And Hinton gets it back. Oh, what a great save by Stepney. That was on the way. Alex Stepney really to the rescue of Manchester United there. And that's a beautiful ball from Best to Morgan, and Morgan's got a real chance here, and he's made it! Number 3 from Willie Morgan. The telling factor, that glorious pass from Best. Now Morgan has to keep his head. Bolton narrows the angle, but Morgan finds the corner, and it's 3-0. McGovern getting it inside to Gemmell. O'Hare. Gemmell again. Nish lurking. Comes out to Hinton. Hennessy's header, and another superb save by Stepney.
Manchester United leading 3-0, but recalling 3 tremendous saves by Stepney makes you realise how close this game could have been.
The match is Manchester United against Chelsea and Peter Houseman. The pictures come from Granada Television. Commentator Gerald Sinstadt. Chelsea are in the all-dark blue strip.
Finding Houseman. Baldwin going in the middle. Number 1. After 2.5 minutes, Chelsea score a goal that they threatened to already. Previously, we'd seen Baldwin streaking through the middle, and it all looked so easy as Houseman broke down the left, crossed, and there was Baldwin coming in behind the defence, and Stepney had no chance. Wilkins, Houseman outside him. In the middle, Osgood and Baldwin. That's aimed for Osgood's head, and it's in! Again, the lack of a commanding head in the middle costs United dear. Wilkins broke down the left, gave it out to Houseman, and Houseman had time to pick his spot for the cross. And although Stepney got a hand to Osgood's header, he couldn't keep the ball out of the net. Baldwin. Macari now for United. Webb's tackle didn't really bite. And it hit the bar and came down from Best. He's asking for the goal, but it's not being given. Quick snapshot by George Best against the underside of the bar. Impossible to say whether that went in or not from the speed of it. The referee decided not.
So Chelsea leading 2-0, and now there are just 2 minutes left.
Morgan. Greenough. Greenough again. Setting it up for Young. Good shot! Two minutes to go, and Tony Young gets his first ever goal for Manchester United. Set up for him by Greenough and absolutely drilled into the corner. Starts here with Morgan. Greenough making himself available there, and then he just lays it off for Young. And what a fine shot that was. Chelsea still with only 10 men on the field. Buchan. Kidd. Young. And now Greenough. Yes! So in the 90th minute, Young returns the compliment. Greenough set the first one up. This time Kidd for Young. And Young gets it through to Greenough, and Greenough gets his first goal for Manchester United in only his 9th first-team game.
So a tremendous finish there, and Chelsea had to be content with a point. But I'm sure a lot of Chelsea fans who are watching that probably put a question mark against the first Manchester United goal, thinking that it might have been offside. What does the panel think?
Well, I felt that he was at least level with the last defender, Brian Kidd, and I thought that he would be offside. But these are one of the very, very difficult decisions linesmen have to give. You see, as Young hits it...
Yeah, Young hits it. Kidd's in the centre of the picture there, just obviously below the arrow.
Now, if he's level with the last defender, he's
then
offside.
Then he is offside. It's only a matter of inches. We are not at the best of angles, sitting watching it from here. The linesman should have been completely on the ball, but, you know, touch and go, because he was definitely interfering with the sight of the goalkeeper.
I felt that the linesman had a difficult decision to make there, but I felt that he might have been offside there.
Yeah, very debatable decision, but a hairline one that referees and linesmen are always having to take. Clear the decks for that magnificent match yesterday at Hillsborough. 8 goals as Sheffield Wednesday, near the foot of the table in the second division, took on Manchester United right at the top. The pictures come from Yorkshire Television. The commentator is Keith Macklin. Sheffield Wednesday are in the stripes.
Morgan's throw. A bit of pushing going on, says Mr. Baker. Thompson. So free kick to Manchester United just outside the area. And there's an absolute logjam of players around that area. They're all in that area. Red shirts and blue and white shirts. A 5-man wall and almost 5 men in a position to take the kick. Houston, try a goal! Houston directly from the kick. There was a hole in the wall. The Wednesday wall, despite having 5 men in it, left a gap, and Houston found it. Pumped down for Sunley. Buchan watching Sunley. Potts getting across well, and stepping bravely, going down as Brown went in for that. Alex Stepney, a brave punch under pressure. Good corner. It's a goal! The United defence caught flat-footed by David Sunley. Right from the corner. Nobody jumped to it, and already they're missing Jim Holton. Surely that could have been Jim Holton's ball had he still been on the field. Instead, he went right over the top of the red-shirted defenders, and David Sunley, the man who stabbed it in. Now, Thompson, the man behind the ball. Bernard Shaw is also there. A lot of blue and white shirts now moving up into the penalty area. Come on, says Mr. Baker, get on with it. Thompson right into the area. Good shot, goal! Harvey! United. Harvey from all of 25 yards put it past Stepney. Shaw. Potts is going to have to come back for that. Brown is onside. McMordy. Mr. Baker, I think, has given it. Mr. Baker, it was inside the area. Now, what has Mr. Baker awarded? What on earth as the referee awarded, because if that was handball, it was most certainly inside the area. Well, Mr. Baker is the man whose opinion counts. But I would stake my life on it that that was 2 feet inside the area. But Mr. Baker, let me stress, is the man whose opinion is valued. A big wall, 6 red shirts, 1 blue and white. Shaw shoots a goal! What a goal! My word, it didn't matter whether it was a penalty or not. Bernard Shaw's put it away with a blistering shot to make it 3-1, and what a game! So the argument about whether it was a penalty becomes purely academic. I think everyone that saw it clearly would say that it was, but it doesn't matter. Bernard Shaw from a free kick outside the area makes it 3-1. This match every bit as exciting now as that famous 5-4 confrontation. And I think the Manchester United fans, some of them, are thinking of taking the action that we saw on the Newcastle United ground and at Old Trafford. I think the Manchester United fans are beginning to think they'll get this one postponed. The Sheffield police are going to have to do something about that. Some are on the pitch already. There they are, they're trying to do it again. This is going to require drastic action by the police and the referee, because these Manchester United fans have got one thing in mind, and I think that is bringing this game to a premature conclusion. McCalliog across. It's going to be forced in by Macari. Springett and the defence misjudged the cross. The simplest thing in the world for Macari to stroke the ball home. Morgan. Outside him goes Forsyth. Forsyth's low cross. Davies! No, Pearson. It is in fact Pearson who makes it 3-3. Lovely cross by Forsyth. And all Pearson had to do, and he did it so well, was stab his foot at it, and it shot past Springett, and so Manchester United have pulled back again. But always danger at the free kick. Somehow this afternoon they've created danger every time one has been awarded. There's been panic stations in defence and near misses, and 3 goals. Chipped up, Suddenly! A goal! It's in! 4-3! Suddenly! Stepney being criticised by his defence because Stepney got his hand to the ball and punched it interfered inside the post. But yet another lethal free kick. The ball chipped over David Sudley's header, and despite Alex Stepney's hands getting there, it went inside. Taking a leaf out of Potts' book. Pearson. Handball. So Manchester United again, just refusing to give up. And everybody's gone up except Greenhoff and Stepney. Looked like handball in the area, but it's not cleared yet. It's... Yes! Macari has made it 4-4! As the ball bobbed about in the area, it's Lou Macari with that low shot to pulls it back to 4-4 in this remarkable game.
A match that people would talk about for many a long day. Of course, the sad blow for Manchester United is that their centre-half Jim Holton broke his leg during the course of that game, and it looks as though Jim is going to be out for the rest of the season. I wonder how United will fare without him.
Our third match is a red-blooded affair between the team at the top of the First Division, Manchester United, and one struggling near the bottom, Birmingham City. A match marred right at the end by a sending off. The pictures come from Granada Television. The commentator's Gerald Sinstadt. Manchester United are in the white shorts.
Not on for McElroy. Hill. Is off Martin for another corner. 5 corners to 0 is the only advantage that Manchester United can point to in the statistics. But what it needs to do is add up to a goal somehow or other, and that would make the game better. It was a good try, and back in again, back the side. It seemed the only way this packed defence would be beaten, and when the header went in and was cleared off the line, it came to Forsyth, and that right foot sent it back in like an arrow. Calder would just come back onto the field again. Damaged elbow, a bang in the eye. He must be wondering what this game still holds for him. Hill. McElroy was offside, the linesman flagged. Referee has let them go on, and McCarry has put it in the net, and the referee says that's okay. But the linesman had flagged. Mr. Homewood won't have it. As Hill came dancing forward, McElroy seemed to run ahead of him. The linesman put his flag up, but the ball was crossed into the middle. The Birmingham defence seemed to have stopped, and McCarry was able to take his time and tap it into the net for his 10th goal of the season. Daly. Koppel. Styles labouring after him and clipping him after the ball had gone, but Koppel still chasing. Now Daly. Couldn't quite get himself into a position to deliver with the right foot, but did get the corner. It in, and Kendall just plays it down for Hibbett to clear. Francis and Green off, and Francis hooks it out and plays it on for Calderwood. Now for With. Calderwood again. Page to Martin. Francis. With getting in. Took it well, but Manchester United must take some of the blame for that. It was a very good build-up by Birmingham, involving about 6 players, and they eventually got it back out to Francis, and when he played the cross, With stole in between 2 defenders and was able to get almost a free header just between Stepney and the post. Koppel. Too far ahead of McCreary. Mistake by Gallagher. 3-1. Sammy McElroy gets the goal, and Gallagher hangs his head. Gallagher down by the line, unable to look at what he's done. Terrible error by Joe Gallagher. Goalkeeper out of goal. He just rolled it across the penalty area, and all Sammy McElroy had to do was kick it in the empty net. 3-1. Corner number 15 coming up. Daly, Koppel, that was a trip by Styles, and again, now the referee coming across, United very angry with Styles over that. And the referee is calling in for Scythe as well. Koppel just wants the ball to get on with the game. It's the linesman that Mr. Homewood wanted, who must surely have had a view of what happened. And Styles is going to be booked. And if he continues to react like that, he could be sent off. It was a trip to start with, but I think he trod on his leg then as he went past him. And now Styles is managing to call the linesman back in again, and we're going to have a second hearing. And he's going to send him off. Well, he asked for it. Could see that coming a mile off. He's got to go. Well, I can't really think what Archie Styles is arguing about. If he'd been sensible, well, that really was an absurdly childish display. He deserved his booking. If he'd been sensible and not argued, he'd have still been on the pitch. And we've now got Forsyth down after a little clash with and the referee has decided that that's enough of that, blown his whistle, and they're all going home, and the game, which never reached any great heights, has ended in something of a shambles, with Gallagher now arguing with the referee, pulled away by his colleagues, and a really distressing ending. And that kind of thing, I suppose, is about an appropriate comment.
Well, Archie Styles had to go, of course, and apparently it was a match that was scarred by some pretty tough tackling right the way through it. And it was a subject that Gerald Sinstadt raised afterwards with the Manchester United manager, Tommy Docherty.
It's very difficult when you are a very skillful side, and knowing that every ball you go for, you might not get the ball, you might get something else.
Did you feel it was as bad as that?
Well, I did, but I feel that you people, the media and the newspapers, I think you can stamp a lot of this out by showing it, and you don't, and the papers, they don't talk about it. They rather talk about...
You certainly don't deliberately edit it out.
I'm not saying you do, but I think you can still do a lot to point things like this out when it goes on, because a lot of it goes on.
You really are saying that Birmingham were as concerned to play the man as play the ball?
Oh, very much so today, yeah. I felt especially early doors, I thought the referee handled the game magnificently. I think if he'd have booked everyone which should have been booked, or sent anyone off, they could have finished up with 5 men. I sympathise with Willie Bell, who's done a magnificent job in the short time he's been there, and brought one player off 2 weeks ago at Queen's Park Rangers. I bring my players off. I fine my players privately if they step out of line. We are not only trying to play attractive football, we are trying to clean up the game by the way we play it.
Yes, I can't... It seems to me a little bit that you're wanting to have it two ways. That,
no, I never
that you're
wanted
condemning Birmingham, and yet you're saying you have sympathy with Willie Bell.
I'm not particularly condemning Birmingham. I am saying today, if they would have played throughout the match, for the 20 periods they did in the second half, they might have salvaged something today from this game. But they were such a physical side today and unnecessary that they got what they deserved. And I think violence only gets one thing, punishment. And they got punished today when they lost 3-1.
Tommy Docherty there, laying down his club's principles very much on the line.
quite like those meetings twice a season between United and City. The more so now because both are in with a shout for the Championship. And that's why every place was filled at Old Trafford, 58,000 people there. Just room for Granada's cameras, for commentator Gerald Sinstadt, helped on this occasion by Dennis Law, Manchester United in the dark shirts.
Nicol. Oh, that's a bad pass. Kidd, Stepney way out. And Kidd nearly made it. Did brilliantly there. Kept his head. Dribbled it away from Stepney and tried to sneak it back in, and he just caught the post. Brian Greenough. Nicol. Brian Greenough moving forward. The nod back to him from Macari. McElroy, could be a shooting opening here. Here's Pearson. The arrival of Brian Greenough in the attack proved crucial, and when he got the nod back from Macari, stuck it quickly through to McElroy. His slip through found Pearson, and Pearson is such a deadly finisher. It's off Donachie's head, and now Watson's foot. Macari, Coppell. Pushed forward by Nicol, it's come back to Coppell. Jimmy Greenough, Nicol, scooped across. McElroy's header didn't really take. Macari works it out to Hill. Macari stayed for the return and flicked it up. It's gone through to Hill for a shot. 2-0. Macari's bustling had a lot to do with that one. He kept in there fighting, and when it got out to Hill, Hill kept at it until eventually he rifled the second goal past Joe Corrigan. Nicol. Donachie. Power beaten to it by Coppell. And Jimmy Greenough! Brilliant save! Coppell got Jimmy Greenough through, the shot was good, and the save was brilliant. Joe Corrigan tipping over from point-blank range.
I think Stewart is playing, he seems to be playing in no man's land, neither up nor back. And to get back in the game, they're going to push forward.
Well, at the moment, it's United coming forward. Through Jimmy Greenough. Macari outside him, inside him in a good position, Coppell! A little classic. Jimmy Greenough on the ball. The run outside by Macari made the space inside for Coppell, and Stevie Coppell took it gloriously. A couple of strides and bingo. Nicol, Jimmy Greenough, Coppell. There's Kidd's tackle. Doyle, tripped by McElroy, who I think accidentally clipped his heels. Referee gives the foul. Certainly it cost Doyle the chance of breaking away. Watson. It's come through to Stepney, and there was a bit of a misunderstanding, and in goes Stewart. Martin Buchan was angry. Stepney was coming for that, but there were players in his way. A collision, and in went Dennis Stewart, and that has given City new hope. 3-1 it is.
That's how it finished. A brilliant victory there by Manchester United. A wonderful goal by Steve Coppell. But of course, Manchester City still very much in the hunt, still looking for the First Division Championship.
Pearson put through by Greenough. Jones is after it. Pearson shot, goal!
Well, let's have some more football now, and it's into East Anglia for the First Division game between Ipswich and Manchester United. Both teams striving in recent weeks to find their best form. The pictures are from Anglia Television. Commentator Jerry Harrison, and Ipswich are in the white shorts.
Ooh, a giveaway by Hunter. Hill will have this one, but it's to Walk and Mills. Here's Mariner. Viljohn. McElroy takes it off him with the help of Houston. Houston in the attacking position here, going for this rebound. And Osman was in well there. Hill's kick, Pearson's header. Oh, just whistling past the post. Well, I hope Cooper had that one covered, but it looked suspiciously near to that post. Osman nicely for Mariner, but the touch off towards Gates wasn't accurate enough. Jimmy Greenough. Hill with McElroy gone down the middle. This is Ulverston on the left. Hill on the run. Mills is with him. Hunter in there, and Greenough gets it away from him. It's a good one. Cooper's in trouble, a brilliant save. And here comes McElroy. But it all stemmed from Jimmy Greenough picking up the rebound as Alan Hunter went in for the tackle. The cross came over tantalisingly. Cooper flung himself to it, got it wide, but it was suddenly knocked back into the goalmouth, and McElroy, steaming through the middle, knocks it in for 1-0, and that's only 11 minutes gone. And a foul by John Walk. Well, a lot of the Ipswich supporters will feel that Manchester United are getting the benefit of these 50-50 challenges as far as the referee's interpretation is concerned, but here's Hill. Pearson against Russell Osman. It's a good cross, and it's a nice touch by Greenough. And it's been disallowed. The linesman's flag down here was up for offside. Greenough denied. A nice little flick there. A fine cross by Stuart Pearson. He came to meet it, beat the goalkeeper well, but the flag was up, the whistle's gone, and the free kick's been taken. And another free kick there. Well, there's a few problems at the moment for Ipswich. Manchester United with their tails up. 1 goal to the good, nearly another. Buchan through quickly to Greenough. He's looking very sharp. And it's Coppell flicking one in. Lou Macari. And away just, but not clear. And Cooper to the rescue this time. Coppell limping away from that one, but the injury was nearly to the Ipswich goal average. They could not get that ball away from, first of all, Macari. Then when Coppell came through again, it was Cooper who had to swoop on it. Now it's Mariner getting one down for Geddes. Out here is Walk. Can he pull one back? Nice ball. Brian Talbot. A touch. Oh, deflected by the far post with clearly an Ipswich man offside. That was Paul Mariner. Macari nicely to Nicol. Coppell's gone down the right. This is for Greenough. Lets it run. Pearson. And it comes to Greenough here. A shot. And just over. And Manchester United looking very sharp. And Jimmy Greenough is the man in the middle of it. Easy to man to find up front. He's laying the ball up beautifully. And at the end there, coming in for a good shot well outside the area, but just over the top. Gates, time to turn. Out here to Walk. Ulverston comes to him. And Viljohn was bypassed there. Gates is with it now. Viljohn again. Walk with a lot of room. He can get down to the line. Walks cross. And just over. Good effort. Brian Talbot again. Well, that was nicely worked. Knocked around outside the Manchester United area until Colin Viljohn got a ball to Walk, which eventually got in, and Brian Talbot just over. But here's Hunter with a kick. There's Tibbett coming over there, getting it in well. Roach is away. Buchan half clear, and it's Coppell with Viljoen. Beats him. To Pearson. McElroy, Greenoff and Hill are in the middle. And Manchester United getting a lot of players up. Pearson beats his man well. Pearson's cross is Greenoff over the top. And the Ipswich are really being peppered here at the back. Greenoff looking absolutely outstanding. Walk wide on this right. Hardly any room for him. Osman gives it to Greenoff, to Hill. Now Hill can show his speed. Osman gets in contact quickly. Hill's cross, it's a good one. Pearson. That's a lovely goal. Absolutely outstanding goal there from Manchester United and Stuart Pearson. And coming to congratulate him is Hill. Well, when they got the ball on this touchline, Hill seemed to be checked by Russell Osman, who was covering, but he played the early ball into the penalty area, and Stuart Pearson coming in first time with a side foot volley, making no mistake at all. McElroy gets it away. It's Ipswich on the break now. Through for Paul Mariner. A great shot! Paul Mariner pulls one back for Ipswich. To the delight of the Bournemouth Road crowd here, but one or two Manchester United supporters will say, should Paddy Roach have got that one? But he hit that one hard. It was played wide of him on the right-hand side. Hits it first time and in under the bar. Paul Mariner. Mariner coming here. Mariner there, and appeals for handball. It went off for a corner, but John Hunting, the referee, looks deliberately to the corner flag. As Mariner went up for this one with Houston, Houston did well to get in front of him. Then it comes out for another headed challenge, and Mariner's shot again goes off somebody's hand, but it goes off for a corner, and clearly that was ball to hand. Corner here. And Gates gets it back. Extraordinary there. Gates from almost off the field of play, almost putting Ipswich Town level, as Hunter's header headed wide of the post. Gates did a grand job there.
2-1 then to Manchester United, and that was the final score, and they'll be well pleased with that.
We go to the baseball ground at Derby, where Tommy Docherty's present team, Derby County, met his previous one, Manchester United. And what a game that turned out to be. Covered by ATV's cameras with the commentator Hugh Johns, Derby County in the white shirts.
Jerry Daly picking up Carter. And Daly. And Daly again. Hit the ball. And surely eventually. Yes. Daly gets it in there. And that must have been, what, his third try at it. Daly's first shot. Booted away by United. Boots another one. It's the top left-hand angle. Hill bangs it in again. When it comes back to Daly for the third time, he makes no mistake. Houston will get ahead. Greenoff. And Houston to drive it. And a break on now. That's Hill going on the left side. Trying one. Off. And Bailey had to tip it over the bar. Gordon Hill from tremendous long range. Well, that was end-to-end stuff. Houston's shot dramatically drives away, out to Carter. The break is on because United are right up the park. Quick early ball for Hill. He didn't waste any time. First time shot. And Bailey arcs upwards to put it over the bar. So here's Hill with the corner. Daly drags it down, and Koppel breaks out for United. Jimmy Greenough. Way across to Ritchie. Ritchie wriggles away from two men. Shot from Thomas. Oof! That was on target. Ritchie wriggling away from two markers. Gets the ball across to Mickey Thomas. He very nearly drew blood. Ritchie trying to find a bit of space for himself in the middle. Greenough nicely down for Thomas. On to Ritchie. Looks good. Yes, it's going to go. Well, now they're going to give that goal to Andy Ritchie or McElroy. I would think in the generosity of his heart, Sammy McElroy might give that goal to Andy Ritchie, his first ever league goal. A beautiful ball swept down the left side with intelligence. And Ritchie, his first game of this season, drives the shot underneath Middleton. Middleton took the pace off the ball, and as it was going over the line, McElroy finishes it off. So the pressure has been spasmodic for Manchester United, but they've got the all-important goal. They're level 1-1. Here's Thomas with the corner. Looking for McQueen. And there's another one for Lou McCurry. No, there was pushing. And Gordon McQueen doesn't like that. Mickey Thomas swinging a high corner to the far side of the box. Gordon McQueen down. A header into it. Middleton didn't really make the save. McCurry snaps it in, but referee Richardson says no goal. And they're drawing 1-1 here at the moment. Daly hard into McCurry. Koppel the cross. Jimmy Greenough. And Thomas. That hit Carter. McCurry. And Ritchie. Offside, surely. McElroy. Yes, the offside flag had gone up long before. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Jimmy Greenough, for one, was a mile in front of the game. But once again, Derby getting themselves at 6s and 7s as Ritchie, Greenough, driving shots in. McElroy there, McCurry as well. Manchester United finally got their men offside, and the goal is knocked off. Buckley has foul to play. Buckley again. And that will drop to Thomas. Here goes McElroy. Surely that's a booking. Dave Langdon. Referee Peter Richardson reaches into his pocket. Second yellow card of the game. This one for Dave Langdon. All coming about when Buckley puts his own defence in a lot of trouble with that ball wide across the middle of the field. Thomas in quickly, transferring it forward to McElroy, and Langdon bringing down McElroy in full flight. And now, could be McElroy. It is Thomas. And a terrible mistake there, and Greenough scores. Jimmy Greenough, left-footed drive, 2-1. But that one, I'm afraid, you've got to chalk down to Vic Morland. Mickey Thomas knocking the free kick in very quickly, and Morland, instead of booting it clear, really did no more than set up a golden chance for Jimmy Greenough. And he loves those. So Buckley does the easy thing to Gordon Hill. Could lose that. No, he's still in possession. But gives the ball away to Mickey Thomas, and there's Jimmy Greenough. Ritchie is over this side of the park, but is Greenough needing him? Ritchie! Yes! Oh, fine goal! once Julie Greenough took over against Moreland, teased him away, made the space for the cross, and then Andy Ritchie supplies the finishing touch. United substitute, Jimmy Nicol. It's not going to come on. It was Langan removing. That's a yellow card, it's a red one. Oh dear, oh dear. Langan bringing down Mickey Thomas. And that's the second yellow card, or would have been the second yellow card. You can't have two yellow cards. So the colour dramatically changes into red. And poor Dave Langan, this his 91st consecutive League and Cup game for Derby, gets sent off for 2 fouls.
So an unhappy day for Derby all round, beaten there 3-1 by Manchester United. Well, at Old Trafford yesterday, it was, to all intents and purposes, a cup semi-final atmosphere there, as Manchester United, lying second, met the leaders Liverpool, knowing that they had to win to cut Liverpool's lead down to catchable proportions. The crowd was 57,000, the pictures are from Granada Television, and the commentator Gerald Sinstadt with Manchester United in the dark shirts.
Kennedy, Dalglish and McQueen again, and McQueen has slipped, and Dalglish has a clear run at goal, and he scored. Once Gordon McQueen had slipped, the rest was formality. Kenny Dalglish gets his 20th goal of the season to put Liverpool in front. McQueen left on the seat of his pants, Dalglish squeezing it in by the near post. It's 1-0 to Liverpool, and we've been playing almost 15 minutes. Jordan. Popple, and Alan Kennedy is in trouble. In comes Thomas. Clements has got the ball. No! Thomas has hooked it in. Well, the goal stemming from a very similar circumstance to Liverpool's opening goal, with a defender suddenly dropping out, and that allowed Koppel to play the cross. In came Thomas. It still looked as though Clements had got it, but just as he seemed to have it in his hands, Thomas recovered more quickly and stabbed it in. United coming out for the offside, and although Hansen was doing the right thing, and indeed has been waved on by Pat Partridge, he will now score. Well, it wouldn't have mattered that, because the linesman had flagged Dalglish offside. Now, the ground is in an absolute ferment here. There were about 6 Liverpool players in an offside position when Hansen played the ball forward. I think that he was waved on by Mr. Partridge, but this is where the offside was. Dalglish flagged offside. In any case, he put the ball outside the post. Koppel. Enough turning it. Wilkins looking for Jordan, who's free behind Case, and in goes Thomas, and off the line by Thompson. Thompson saved it with inches to spare, but it so nearly came off, with Jordan stealing in behind Case, and then Thomas got a touch, and there were 2 of them there. Thompson got it away. Wilkins to take Manchester United's corner. McQueen lurking just in the semicircle at the edge of the area there. Clements stays on the line, and the header has got in from Jordan. 2-1 to Manchester United. And Joe Jordan raises his arms to take the acclaim. And it was turned on, in fact,
Greenough who got the deflection. Jimmy Greenough, the Roy of the Rovers goal that he talked about before the game. Wilkins, Jordan, and Jordan brought down, but the referee waves them on with the advantage, and a marvellous save by Clements from Macari. That was goalkeeping of international class, all right. Macari had got in well, and it seemed a goal all over. Ball turned across here, hard, and down went Clements with a left hand from Macari. So it's still 2-1 to Manchester United. Hansen got a toe to that. Jordan ahead. Wilkins' shot off the bar. Couple could still be in here. Clements has it. And Ray Wilkins was so close to a spectacular goal then. So now it's Kennedy. Escapes at each end and the game gets more and more exciting. And Dalglish now. Blocked by Thomas. Thomas still with him, and it'll be a corner. Meanwhile, we can see the shot from Wilkins that beat Clements, but was kept out by the crossbar. Wilkins and Macari beginning to form the wall. Thomas coming to join them, and Greenough. There are the four brave men. There's the angle for Case or Souness. There's Bailey on his line, or in fact a yard off it as Case lets go the shot. There was a deflection, but over for a corner. Case with that hammer of a right foot really lets go. It, I think, flicked off the wall and only just over. And that's the final thrust of the game. Manchester United keep the championship open thanks to the most romantic of comebacks. Joe Jordan's big smile, it was his header that made the goal for Jimmy Greenough. So it's many happy returns on his birthday tomorrow for Manchester United manager Dave Sexton, but no happier return than that Jimmy Greenough has made to First Division football today.
And indeed, Jimmy Greenoff's first full game since last season's FA Cup final, with so many doubts about his fitness and his future. Well, what a way to make a comeback. And his winner now cuts Liverpool's lead down to 4 points, and they both have 6 matches to go, both with 3 at home and 3 away. With Forest looking to forget that European Cup disaster in midweek, United are determined to get on to a consistent winning run. The pictures come from ATV. Let's check on the two teams. First of all, Nottingham Forest. It's the one that finished the game against CSKA of Sofia in the European Cup on Wednesday. It means that Larry Lloyd retains his place in defence in place of Kenny Burns, who's likely to be out for a couple of weeks yet with injury. As for Manchester United, Martin Buchan and Gordon McQueen are out, with Moran and Jovanovic replacing them. And Joe Jordan plays his first league game of the season for United. Now it's time for Hugh Johns as we join the game in the first half.
Thomas looking for Jordan, and he got there. Joe Jordan so desperately close to opening his account this season then. That was a beautifully flighted ball into him, and he escaped his marker. A punched header only just beat the left-hand post. Lloyd punching that one up. O'Neill, and here's Bertels. Must get the shot in, but wide. Falling backwards, off balance. Snapped half chance. Bailey came to him, perhaps put him off, but he couldn't turn that ball in between the posts. Giving a touch off left side to Gray. Good, Wallace, yes. 1-0, Forest. Ian Wallace. 31 minutes gone. His 4th goal since he came here from Coventry. And Robertson, the man who fed this ball off to Gray. And Wallace positioning himself perfectly for the cross ball, which was delivered accurately. The downward header, the goalkeeper's got no chance. A better idea. Macari rolls that down to Ulverston. Jordan. Aiming for Koppel. Touch for Thomas. Looks useful. That's the goal from Macari, 1-1. So simple, so perfectly executed. And other simple things delightful to watch. 43 minutes gone. United fans, travelling fans from the Stretford end, rejoice as Lou Macari scores his 3rd goal of the season. 1-1 the scoreline. So beautifully worked. Koppel nipping it off to Thomas, waited a second, slots it across the face of the goal, and there's the Macari on the end of it. Gray down, Mills gets there first, did well. Powerful youngster, this. Ball into Bertels. Bertels made that space for himself. There was a worried, anxious look on Moran's face, a look of disgust on Gary Bertels' face. He felt he ought to have put that one in. Now Thomas. Mills heads out as far as Duxbury. Thomas again. And Koppel's getting there. And Koppel has scored. 2 big defenders in a tangle, Lloyd and Needham. And Koppel sliced between them. 2-1 Manchester United. 28 minutes of the second half. It's Mickey Thomas who delivers the ball into the box. Thomas's ball into the box, and there's Koppel, as nice as you like, into the corner past Shilton. Jovanovic gets it down and out. O'Neill for Mills. Nicol comes to him fast. Skates away from one, good cross in. And Needham off the line by Thomas. No, it wasn't, it was Alverston. And it just wide again. Unbelievable. Grandstand finish was wanted. And the panic created by Gary Mills here with this ball in. Unbelievable. Needham sets himself, picks his spot. Bookkeeper beaten, Alverston off the line. Stays up there, another try. A flick on then. And still the ball won't go in the net. Robertson, O'Neill, forcing his way past Nicol. Keeps on going. Gary Mills coming in, drives it. Great try by Mills, superb save by Bailey, and that's the end of it. Forest beaten at home, only the 2nd time in the 1st division. The match winner, Steve Koppel.
A bad week for Forest then, with 3 defeats.
At Old Trafford, Bryan Robson, Britain's costliest footballer at £1.5 million, signs for Manchester United before their game against Wolves. The pictures are from Granada Television, our commentator Martin Tyler. Manchester United are in the darker shirts and white shorts.
Wilkins, good vision to pick out McElroy. And here's Stapleton in a race with Bradshaw. And Frank Stapleton puts Manchester United in front in the 9th minute. In a move that owed a great deal to Ray Wilkins. McElroy's pass sending Stapleton on his way for the scoring touch, but beyond that, Wilkins had swept an instant ball forward that was at the real hub of the move. Birtles allowed to turn. Gallagher getting in the way of Wilkins' attempt to thread it back to Birtles. And then presented here for McElroy again, who makes the most of it. Well, a catastrophic error from Peter Daniel, I think it was, who gave it straight to McElroy, who punished the error with his left foot. Gets it back from Stapleton. Here's Birtles. And again, as an end product to the build-up. Birtles swivelling into the shot on his stronger left foot. And Sammy McElroy, at the moment, Wolves finding it impossible to contain him. Here's Wilkins. And the uncertainty from Palmer this time. And he was trying to give a corner and didn't even accomplish that. This is Wilkins. And it's swerved away from Berry, and it's Moses with the deflection, and the overhead kick came from Stapleton. And Bradshaw, who was twisting this way and that, finally gratefully clasping the ball. The save simple enough when it came after the ball went around the penalty area like a pin table. Bradshaw scrambling to his feet to deal with the effort from Stapleton. Wolves really finding it difficult to make any sort of meaningful progress. Stapleton, and it dipped against the bar. Wilkins was in to try and make something of the rebound. Albiston. The pressure still on. Until Hibbett gets a foot in to buy Wolves some time. But Wolves still wondering about the let-off from Stapleton. The dipping effort that struck the bar. Ron Atkinson must be highly pleased with the first half performance from Manchester United, but will surely be expecting them to continue in the same vein in the second half. And the free kick will be taken by McElroy, who scores. And that will lead surely to protests from Wolves. Mr. Bridges has sprinted away. This was McElroy's effort that curved spectacularly past Bradshaw. Andy Gray leading the protests. The flag went up immediately. The initial ball was played through for Steve Coppell, who was then brought down. Little's just getting enough on the ball to help it on to Stapleton. Moses picking out Coppell. It was an awkward one to control, but he accomplished it well. Birtles flick, and Stapleton blocked by Palmer, and it's Moses blocked by Berry. Well, Wolves hanging on a thread from going 4 goals behind. Coppell dinking it in. But another area of confusion letting in Stapleton for the first shot. Then it was Moses who found Berry in the way. And Bailey, as Gallagher puts it in, Bailey was fouled by Gray. was the reason that the ball went as far beyond Andy Gray to Joe Gallagher. The push here by Gray as he jumps. And Gallagher finished it off, but it didn't count. Buchan coming through the back of Gray, getting the ball cleanly. Alveston. Bertels, the touch was short, and so much of Manchester United's work has been this afternoon, and Sammy McIlroy produces a hat-trick in superb style. Well, it would have been hard, really, to produce something to top his work in this game, but he's managed it. A swerver that had Paul Bradshaw totally perplexed. McIlroy wasting no chance and really belting it past Bradshaw. Stapleton and Bertels, magnificent goal. Well, you won't see two strikers link up as well as that, surely all season. The Frank Stapleton-Gary Bertels partnerships very much in business. And Stapleton just toe-ending it through. Bailey missed it, Bertels didn't.
5-0 to Manchester United, and manager Ron Atkinson has really stirred them up there. There's no doubt that the expensive arrival of Remy Moses and Bryan Robson has given that vital edge in terms of competition for places, particularly in the midfield. And here are Manchester United in 4th place now in the table, behind Ipswich, West Ham and Swansea, with Spurs now in 5th position. Incidentally, Manchester United have not conceded a goal in their last 5 league games. At the bottom, it's a sorry tale for Wolves. Only Leeds are below them, and that northeastern pair, Sunderland and Middlesbrough, are hovering dangerously near. Manchester United were at home to Notts County, 34,000 at Old Trafford, and the cameras of Granada Television with commentator Martin Tyler. Manchester United in the red shirts about to take a corner.
Taken by Koppel. There's McCulloch, who found it skimming off his forehead. This is Robson. And Abramovich in trouble, Whiteside, but the referee rules it out. For a foul on the goalkeeper by Kevin Moran. Robson, United finding room in which to manoeuvre in midfield. This is Muran, a beautifully delivered header for Whiteside. This one does count. And Arnold Muran rightly takes his share of the congratulations. Robson powering forward, but look for the header here. All careful deliberation from Muran. Whiteside shot close to the goalkeeper, but it went under him. Early from Moses, which has been a feature of his passing in this game, and it's ensured that United have kept possession, as they do here with Koppel. And Whiteside, the flag stayed down. Whiteside ponders on the chance that went away from him. But the goalkeeper got a right hand to it, and it went behind for a corner. Stapleton! 2-0. It was but a temporary reprieve for Abramovich. He came off his line for the corner, but Frank Stapleton got there first and glanced it in. Muren. Orbiston. And Orbiston again. The angle is tight. Too tight. But Arthur Orbiston, having gone round the goalkeeper, just couldn't squeeze it in. Christie. Robson reflecting the confidence in Manchester United's display. So too Moses, and the referee quick to make sure that he could avoid any tangle with Mayer. Muren. Robson wants it early. Brilliant goal. A salute of genuine satisfaction. Muren delivering it on a plate. Robson glances it in. This is Duxbury. And now Whiteside. And now Duxbury. Yes! One of the unsung heroes at Old Trafford. The crowd respond. He started it himself, took it back from Whiteside and finished the job.
So Bryan Robson taken off with a knock. That is a bit worrying. But 4-0 to Manchester United. That keeps them in touch in second place, still 3 points behind Liverpool, who had a 3-1 win over Watford at Anfield.